We had a ton of dishes to do. There was even a black plastic bag over the sink because it was so full of dishes. There's bugs on the windowsill. We also found out that the entire oven was full of dirty dishes. Now, I know some of you are going to say, why did you do this all by hand? Why didn't you soak them, etc.? I didn't know that's what I was going to get when I got there, and I needed to get them done that day. So I ran the dishwashers 2 times, I think, but it wasn't near enough. I did have to wash a lot of them by hand. So here it is. Over 8 hours of cleaning condensed into less than 1.
I think Janet had talked to you about you label things ahead of time or just make some piles ahead of time, then that could be helpful in replacement of you being physically there.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's going to be enough, and I don't really have it within me to do as much of that as I need to do. I might as well just clean the damn house myself at that point. I mean, there's so much stuff, that decisions need to be made about.
So in that way, you're feeling like you really do need to be able to be there in order to make all of this worthwhile.
Yeah, I really do. To be honest with you, that makes it even more mortifying because then, I have to interact with these people that are seeing my shame.
It would be kind of nice to go off into a room and just be able to hide during this process and not have to face all of this, kind of sabotaging it in a way, right? Not being there to be able to direct traffic and really make it so the process is worthwhile for all of these things that you're wanting to achieve.
Yeah, and I mean, it's amazing that I haven't pulled the plug on this already because I've wanted to. I normally have a lot more control over that. I just haven't had much control since Candace died. Yeah.
Even getting help and getting support, which you want really badly. And like you said before, with your friends even, right? Canceling last minute with them and just staying in your shell, staying really tightly in there.
Yeah.
It's your comfort zone, right? And you're pushing yourself to be in that growth zone, to make that progress. But the comfort zone is called a comfort zone for a reason, even if it sucks in there.
And I think, okay, what would it cost me to pay somebody to come in here and do this? Money I don't have, by the way. What's it going to feel like when I have whatever portion of the load that's on me right now lifted from me? Because I love it when my house is clean. I love it. I walk around and I look at it and I just, oh my gosh, I just revel in it. To the extent where I've considered leaving this house, which I love. I love living here. I love living in this little place. It's just perfect for me. And I was actually considering leaving this place and just moving out rather than deal with this mess.
Yeah. So that feeling of having that burden lightened and being able to look around your house and feel those feelings that you loved, something that you want, that you deeply, deeply want. And that same hiding feeling, right? Moving out to a different space is kind of a similar feeling of like, I'm just going to avoid this. I'm going to hide it. I'm not going to look at it.
I just loved having everything organized and clean, and that I never had to worry about somebody wanting to drop by. I've discouraged that. Fortunately, the pandemic came along, and now nobody, because all my friends know how sick I've been and stuff, nobody bothers to stop by anymore. Or they just leave things for me out on my front porch.
So what would that be like to be able to invite people in to your home? Do you feel like if your home was more clean, you'd be able to invite people in?
Well, yeah, I would, and I would start doing that again. But at least she made a huge difference, and I really want to give her a place to play that's out of sight, that's not in my freaking living room. I really need to get that bedroom set up for her. Yeah, because my balance is not good, and I've fallen so many times because of her toys. Every time I clean my house, I wander around thinking how wonderful it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a lifelong thing. I just am so happy when my house is clean. There's deep, deep down trauma from childhood that I do not, it's down where it needs to be, and I don't ever want to bring it up. Just can't relax. Just that I'm very reserved with people that I don't know. And so there's going to be a bunch of people that, up in my business that I don't know. And so that might put my introversion on steroids, Yeah, that's why I haven't I've had friends have said, please let us come over. Let me get a group of people to come over. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Because these are people I know. The truth of the matter is that if anyone had said it more than once, I probably would have relented, and said, okay. Yeah. But they kind of say it in passing.
You giving them an out right? Because you feel like it's not true. And in other ways, that can also be part of that negative feedback loop, shooting yourself in the foot by not allowing people to be there for you, to step out of or expand even your introversion a little bit tomorrow to allow for yourself to feel support and love from these people who are coming in to help you. Because I know, and being able to help you in your situation. And we were talking the other day after we met with you yesterday about how you just seem really on the precipice, that you're really in this upward motion right now. And that's, really exciting because you have gone through so much and you have been so strong. And especially this last year has been devastating. And you are putting in so much work and so much effort to continue to be strong, to continue to move forward. And we're really grateful that we get to be a part of this upward motion. And I hope that you're able.
And have her, I needed somebody to come and say, no, well, that reminder's nice.
Yeah.
Because I am, you're right. I am on the precipice of sort of getting my life back. I would like to once again be the person that's never home, that has something going on all the time with lots of friends and busy and respected. It'd be nice to be that person again.
And it's obvious that there are people who care about you too, right? That want to see that for you as well. Like you have friends who are dropping things off at your door. Yeah, there's a lot of people, it seems like to me, just knowing you just a small amount of time, there's a lot of people who really, they know you and they believe in you. And you believe in yourself as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying anymore.
Right. I think maybe I had given up there for a while. It's within my power to live a better life. And I'm not handicapped by overwhelming mental illness.
Well, I'm excited for you for tomorrow, and it'll be cool to talk to you after it's happened and see where things are at, mentally. And so tell me how you've been post cleaning. So how did the cleaning go? And then how are you feeling now?
Everything's great. I mean, we organized a few things. I've got the back bedroom completely set up for my granddaughter. I realized, actually, I think I fully realized it today as I was going about my day and thinking about stuff. I spent 6 months afraid of the 1 year anniversary, thinking that it would be like reliving that day again. And it wasn't. And I cried, but it didn't carry the painful impact that I thought it would. I thought it would be like losing her again.
Yeah.
And so now that I've gotten through that, it's just like this fog lifted, sort of like the morning sun. And I also really feel her hand in a lot of the changes that have come up in my life of late. Not that I'm trying to mysticize it, anything, but whatever it is that gets me back and willing to take on challenges that I've been afraid of since 2008.
Just cleared up that for you to be able to focus and think about and do other things and just feel less shame, less embarrassment about people stopping by.
Right.
Have you had anyone over yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you let them into the house?
Yeah, they came in and sat down. There were some toys to climb over.
Yeah. But what did that feel like?
Just like normal, just like, see, that's the thing. That's my normal state. It's not like this big change in feeling. It's just back to normal.
Which is an amazing change in and of itself, right? To be able to feel normal, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to feeling shame, as opposed to feeling embarrassment and like you have to shut everyone out and just open your door a little crack, like you had said before, and not wanting anyone to see it, and to be able to feel like yourself. That's incredible.
I mean, I'd gotten to a point where I wouldn't open my front door at night because I was so ashamed. I couldn't let anybody see. So that's good. Everything else is, I mean, I was very grateful. I'm going to schedule the cleaners to come back every couple of weeks.
That'll be a huge relief just to have somebody come in and take care of that for you.
Well, and it's not necessarily because I can't do it myself. It's more I love what she's doing, and I love how she's going about it, and I want to support that.
Yeah, and women in recovery. And
it helps that it's a Black-owned business. I mean, I think that's awesome, and so I want to share her info with all my friends and help her build her business. And And I also, I have a bunch of organizing that needs to be done. And she said she'd be willing to do that. I needed somebody to come and say, no, you need to get rid of that. And so I want to talk to her and see if she's the one that's strong enough to stand up to me.
So
Yeah.
when they were in cleaning your house, were you able to feel, and what did that support feel like?
When it was over, I was grateful.
Mhm.
Looking back on it, what an amazing gift Janet gave me. I mean, however that happened, because they ran out of time and there was still quite a bit to do.
I think there were less cleaners there than she thought were going to be there.
Man, what an amazing gift. Yeah, and
It
she
was
made a huge difference. Like I said, rolling back to when I first started,